Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of the Corde Snell Show. I am the guy. The reason why we're here, I'm bringing it to you. Hell yeah, I'm Corde Snell. What's up, Jared? How we doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
What's up, Noah? How we doing? I'm good, man. How you doing, Noah?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So for the first time ever, you finally get to hear Noah. Like, I've called out to Noah several times on this show, and it is funny as hell because I've listened back and watched this on episode because I wanted to grow myself, and I just like yell out to him and hear nothing. And it's like the funniest thing because like at the time I'm like, no, I know I can hear him. I'm like, can you hear him? And I'm like listening to my own podcast, got the headphones turned all the way up, and I'm just like, can I hear him? Nope. So we mic'd him up today, so Noah, don't do any rude interruptions. Now I'm fucking with you.
I will mic him immediately after this introduction.
Yeah, exactly. This week, as you noticed, we didn't drop the episode last week because the reason why is because we're not only stand-up comedians, but we also have day jobs, and a lot of times we are tired. So George was super tired last week, and he couldn't do the podcast, so he made sure that we didn't do it. So feel a little pity party on George's fucking feelings. No, I'm playing. I messed with you, Jared. Real talk, the funny thing about it is, and the cool thing about working with these two gentlemen, Jared and Noah, the cool thing about it is we really talk about stuff like, I'm a big proponent on resting. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you need to rest. Back in 2009, was it? I had a huge seizure because I wasn't getting the proper rest. I still deal with them to this day. Sometimes I might cancel on shows, or I might not show up to mics or stuff like that, because usually if I start feeling overwhelmed, I need to cut it down, because usually what happens if I try to push myself too far, I might end up like out of commission just for like a week or a week and a half, because my body goes to like a seizure-like thing. It's not actually a seizure. It's not a seizure disorder, which I don't have epilepsy. It's actually called a conversion disorder. So sometimes it like appears like seizures, but actually like a very serious thing. So much so that people have died for the conversion disorder. Also, I have to say that because if I say the wrong thing, I've been up in the hospital and they won't take whatever I'm having seriously. They just think I'm faking, which is pseudo seizures, which is fake seizures, which people do to get attention. And I've literally been to hospitals where nurses be like, "Oh, you're doing a fake seizure to get out of something." Like I had one in college. And it was just like, oh, he's doing a fake seizure because it's finals. He doesn't want to do his finals. I'm like, no, this has been documented. Like, I've had this since 2009, and I think this happened in 2017, and they thought I was faking. So, yeah, I'm always a big proponent about my homies taking rest, or like if they feeling overwhelmed, I'm like, hey, yo, take a nap, take a break, see if you can get like a day off from work or something like that, because working yourself to death, especially early on, ain't helping nobody else, especially Jared. And like we do podcasts, we do open mics. Jared runs a few open mics. I do shows. I be traveling. So if I can't make it to a show, I just have to let people know, like, hey, real talk, love you to death, want to be on this show, but can we reschedule? Like, I think a few weeks ago, I was supposed to do a show in Chico, and it was 3 hours away, and I had just got back home, and I was fucking exhausted. And I'm like, yo, I'm sorry I got to do this last minute, but I got to cancel on you, man. Because it was like driving there, still trying to do the show, and then supposed to drive back. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, that's so much more wear on my body. And sometimes this happens to me too. I get so pressured and nervous because I don't want to be somebody who's canceling on people, that I'll work myself even more up and like thinking of anxiety because I don't want to cancel on them. And then that makes it even worse, my situation worse. And then I'm like, hey, I can't do the show. And the moment I say I can't do it and they say they okay, even if they not, it's so much relief off my shoulders. And I feel so much better after that. And then I usually take a nap, like a 2 or 3 hour nap. And then I wake up, I'm like, oh, the show is supposed to start like right now. And I'm like, I'm well rested now, but I know I can't make it. And the ability to take some rest and some time off for myself is definitely needed. So let's talk about some highlights real quick. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Hell yeah. I'm super glad because I hate the Niners. Like I got a bunch of people who are, well, I don't have a bunch of people. I just have my mom. Did I tell y'all the Niners? Did I tell y'all the reason why I'm a 49ers or why I'm an Eagles fan? Did I ever tell y'all that?
I think you told us, but it didn't make a take.
Okay, cool. So, all right, real quick backstory. My mom's a Niners fan. I found out this about 2 years ago, right? I grew up in a Raiders household, and my dad would never allow me to decorate my room in Niners colors for whatever reason, right? So he was like, this is a Raiders household. We can't do no 49er stuff in here, right? And then so I had to pick other teams, literally pick other teams. So I was a Tennessee Titans fan. I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I had my room decorated in that. And then I became a Philadelphia Eagles fan, even though I was a Niners fan for most of my life, especially with like barrier teams, right? So I became an Eagles fan in like 2004. Funny thing about that, they went to the Super Bowl. So everybody thought I was like a bandwagon fan. And I was like, nah, T.O. was my favorite guy. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles. My favorite color is green. I always root for black quarterback. Shout out to Donovan McNabb. And then also they had Brian Dawkins, Weapon X. I was like, I love this dude because he's a fan of Marvel Comics. Wolverine was my favorite guy. And he had like the black tinted visor that nobody else wore. And he was like hulked up and shit like that. He was like, when I get on the field, I'm Weapon X. I'm Wolverine. And I was like, I can get behind this. And so I became an Eagles fan. And it wasn't until about 2-3 years ago, my mom just was like rooting hard for the 49ers. And I was just like, Mom, what are you doing? She was like, I'm a 49ers fan. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, yes, I am. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, yes, I am. And I was like, so what was the reason you made me be fans of these other teams this whole time if you was a 49er fan? She was like, no, I've always been a 49er fan. And I was like, I never said you couldn't decorate your room in 49er colors. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did, Bob. Like in 1998 or 2001, I became a Tennessee Titan fan because Eddie George was on the cover. And then after that, I became like, I always like Jerome Bettis. So I became a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and Cordell Stewart was the quarterback. And I'm like, why you didn't back me? If you was a Niner, you should have backed me in this situation, Mom. Why didn't you back me? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I love how moms and parents just get like this forgetfulness whenever you find out they in the wrong. It's like, that never happened. I'm like, yes, it did. Yes, it did. I am traumatized. And that's why I don't root for the Niners at any time at all. But shout out to Aaron Banks. He's a left guard for the San Francisco 49ers. He played high school football with my little brother. So I root for him. But other than that, screw you Niners. Especially screw you Niner fans, because 49er fans are some of the most bandwagon fans ever. I remember when they was trash one year in the many years of Kyle Shanahan coaching, I didn't buy it, but my homie bought tickets to the 49er game. It was $40. Parking was $40 at the same time. His dad came with us at the last minute and bought a $25 ticket. And you want to know what? That stadium was empty. Cause y'all only be rooting for the Niners when they good. If they have a bad season, like if the Niners started out 0-6 next year, you know how many 49er games I'll be at? Probably all of them. Because they would be so damn cheap and y'all don't show up when they trash. That's why I have a lot of loyalty. Even though my dad's a Raider fan, I have a ton of loyalty because when they played in Oakland, no matter what, Raider fans always showed up. They would wear the Raiders gear after a blowout. Like I remember one time I saw the Raiders get blowout 42-0. You know how many Raiders jerseys I saw that Monday? A fuck ton. And I gained so much respect for the Raiders in that standpoint. I was like, hey, you know, y'all got blew out yesterday? He was like, so what? I'm still gonna root for my team. And I'm like, like you know they say, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me my best. And the Raiders been at their worst for a long time. and Raiders fans have stayed loyal. You know how much high blood pressure the Raiders have caused the people out here in these streets. But the funniest thing, I saw this past weekend. Marshawn Lynch walking up to people and he said, "Are you not a fan? Fuck you." One of the most funniest things, but the thing that was funnier than that, because you know the Niners have that funny ass dumb chant by E40. I love him, but he was like, "Bang bang Niner gang, bang bang Niner gang," what I think is dumb, because before that it was Quest for Six, but that's been going on for too long. They've been questing for six since 2012, like when Harbaugh was a coach of them, right? So bang bang Niner gang, Marshawn Lynch was like, it's more like a pew pew. He He's like, it's still bang bang. He was like, no. It's like pew pew. Like, so anytime I see a Niner fan and they lose, I'm like, hey yo, pew pew. So what you mean? It's like bang bang, but it's more like pew pew. Like Yosemite Sam, pew pew. And that's like that's damn near their mascot too. That's damn near their mascot is Yosemite Sam. So pew pew Niners. Shout out to Travis Kelce and shout out to Taylor Swift. They act like no football player has ever dated a celebrity before. Real quick, hey, shout out. This is serious. Shout out to Taylor Swift because most of the time I told everybody I wasn't a fan of her, but this Super Bowl I was, because she brought Ryan Reynolds' fine ass wife back up in that box, right? Also, she brought another fine ass woman. She brought thick ass Lana Del Rey up in that thing, and I was like, oh, I'm a Swiftie. Now I'm a Swiftie because she be bringing guesties. She be bringing them plus ones, stuff like that. If Taylor Swift show up from here on out with just fine ass women next to her, she could come to every game. I want her to come to the Eagles games because she a fan of Jason Kelce. Just keep coming to all the games. Just bring your fine ass friends with you. Hell yeah, because Lana Del Rey can get the D. Like, you know, she can get it whenever she want. Like that summertime sadness, it won't be no more. Like it'll be just a great ass time, all right? Like it'll be called Summertime D because I'm giving it to her all summer long. Also, real quick, so I remember I said before, I mentioned this to Noah, that Taylor Swift got caught doing like the swag surf. They was in the doing that, and she wasn't doing the swag surfing. She was doing the Say the Last Dance. She was on the 1, 2, 1, 2. Son. So they was there from Say the Last Dance. That's what she was doing. But shout out to the Fly Swag Boys, because Taylor Swift is so huge. They might do a remix to Swag Surfing with Taylor Swift. And I hope they do this because the Swag Surf Boys have only put out this one hit. I remember I had the album back, I think like 2008, 2009. And I want them to get a resurgence because they're big in the South and they're big in like a lot of black colleges. Like Swag Surfing is like a phenomenon. It takes over any like halftime show at the HBCU. It is huge. We fucking love that song to death. And also to help them get like some more bonus points or just be able to tour on the road and stuff like that and become iconic thanks to her. And then also, if they do this, they'll teach her the proper technique on how to swag surf. And that'll be the most important thing, right? Because when I saw Taylor Swift swag surfing the first time, it looked like Travis Kelce's shoulder, who he's a good dancer for a white guy. He got some rhythm and stuff like that, but it seemed like it was a secondhand swag surfing thing. Like, we know, the kind of stiff. Like, I don't know why it is when people who can't dance, they just get super stiff and they like, like yo, and your bones hurt right now. Like, what's going on with you? Like, what's like, loosen up a little bit, loosen up in your shoulders. Like, you gotta get loose up in here, get loose on it. You know. Also, shout out to Usher, the halftime show when he was filling up on thick ass Alicia Keys. Like, I know, I know why he did it. It was like, no, but he has a girlfriend. He just proposed to her. He's like, yeah, but he ain't gonna pass up a time to rub that booty. Like, you know, like. I see it, Usher. I see why you getting all these women hot and bothered. And he was like, I mean, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to take advantage. And hell yeah, he definitely did. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. Jordan. Best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Tom Brady has 7 rings, but at this standpoint and when Tom Brady had 3 rings, Patrick Mahomes has played way better than him at this point. Valentine's Day passed. I hate Valentine's Day with a passion, mainly because I usually never have a date. This past Valentine's Day, I didn't have a date either. So that didn't make it better. I remember one time in college, right? Me and this girl was talking and I was trying to be super romantic, right? I was like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show up to her house because we've been talking. And then I'm going to put like a card, some flowers, and like I'm gonna tie it to this balloon, like Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna ask her to be my Valentine, right? And I tried to do that. I pulled up like right at midnight because, you know, you ask them the day of, right? And so I'm trying to be romantic, and then so I'm set it up, and I was gonna put like a little umbrellas because it was kind of raining that day. She like somehow, for some reason, she opened up the window, or not the window, but like the curtain. It's like, get out of here. And I was like, what the hell are you talking to me? She's like, what the hell are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I was trying to surprise you. And then so I got invited in. I was like, I was trying to be like kind of romantic, and I was asking you like, would you be my Valentine? She's like, oh, this is super sweet. This is super cool and everything. And she's like, I was be my Valentine. She said yes. I said we can go like to dinner or something like that. Like, won't have to be too fancy. She's like, yeah, because I know most stuff is expensive. I was like, okay, cool. Fast forward to 8 to 10 hours later, I'm like, hey, so we still like going out, stuff like that. She's like, oh, like first she was unresponsive, was a big red flag. And I was like, damn, this is about to be a terrible night, right? And she's like, oh, well, you kind of surprised me. I already planned out with my girlfriends to go to San Jose to have a Valentine's Day with them. I was like, well, why are you going with them? She's like, oh, they don't have dates. I was like, but you do. Like them lonely chicks can go still by themselves. You don't have to include them. And then I didn't realize at the time, this was like the start of Galentine's Day, even though it's supposed to be before it. And I'm just like, yo, so you just gonna hang out with your friends? Like, yeah, well, they don't have dates. I was like, so this could be a special day for you. She's like, we could do something later. Never did nothing later. Never eventually went on another date. I was super pissed off, and that was one reason why I hate Valentine's Day. The other time was in high school. I still remember this today. Like, I remember I had bought a card for a chick I had a crush on who I liked, and she didn't show up on Valentine's Day, weirdly. And then I remember I gave her a card, and I asked me my Valentine, or like, could we like start talking or something like that? And her cousin, I gave her the card like the next day, and her cousin brought me the card back a few days later. I think like, because I think it was on a Tuesday. I gave it to her Wednesday. She gave it to me on a Thursday or a Friday, right? And this, she let me down in the most easy way, but also a lying way, right? She told me, we're sophomores in high school. Hey, I like you and everything. You're really cool and stuff like that. But I'm trying to focus on my studies. We're in the 10th grade, people. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, we're in the 10th grade, and you lied and say you wanted to focus on your studies, right? Or I'm just really busy trying to focus on my studies. And the funny thing about it, the movie Hitch dropped that Friday. And this is the reason why it's one of my favorite all-time movies. In the first 5 minutes of that movie, if she said if she's too busy, or she's like really into her work, or really just into herself right now, you know what she's saying to you right now? She's lying to you. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'm literally reading the letter as I'm watching the movie. I was like, Hitch, how'd you know I got rejected just the same? And I was like, wow. He just wanted to sit up. She's like, because it's not a bad time. She's not really into her studies. She's just saying she's not into you like that. And I love that movie to death because it helped me get over that chick so fast. I was mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was mad because I was like, who passed down this lie for her to tell me that she's trying to focus on her studies in the 10th grade? Like, who does that? Also, she started dating a homie of mine the next year, and I was like, focusing on your studies, huh? Focusing on your studies. Also, she chose one of my homies who's very toxic, and I was mad as hell because I'm like, so you gonna focus on your studies by dating him? Who not? I was like, also, you can't focus on his studies because his studies ain't good. He ain't getting good grades. Like, I checked his GPA. It's a 1.8. Then it was funny because I was asking her out at the time. My grades was better than hers. So if anybody needed to focus on their studies, I needed to be focused on my studies. I had a 3.34. She had a 2.8. So I would have helped her out. Like, I would have helped her out, and we could have been accomplishing this 3.5 gang like all the time. 3.5 gang, you know? It was, which is hella funny. So, hey, needless to say, but I hate Valentine's Day, and that's one of the major reasons why. Because it's also, too, if you're a person who has a significant other or a date on Valentine's Day, or you're in a relationship, stop saying, I hate Valentine's Day. This is a stupid holiday. I'm tired of always having to pay. I show my love every day. Fuck you, all right? Fuck you with a passion because you got somebody, all right? Some of us is out here lonely as fuck, and you want to take your girl on an expensive. Yes, it will be expensive because it's a day for love. You getting some, all right? We probably gonna get some too, but we're gonna have to pay a hoe, all right? Literally, Literally a hole in the corner, East 14 in Oakland, or the random spot in San Francisco, all right? I'm not saying I go there. I'm just saying I know the places, okay? So fuck you for not going all out for your girl. Now, I don't understand if you about to break up with her and you don't want to go all out for a reason, so you're trying to create a fight the day of Valentine's Day so you can break up with her. I understand that, all right? Because that makes more sense. Like, I'm not trying to go all out on Valentine's Day because I'm gonna break up with her after this. All right. Also, shout out to February 15th and February 13th. All right. February 15th is National Side Chick Day. All right. National Side Chick Day is February 15th. February 13th is National Side Dude Day. All right. That's where we put the dick down on your girl before, so she come in on Valentine's Day loving you and expecting something. And then if you fall bad and you don't do nothing like extravagant for her, it's okay, because she already got some loving the night before. So she'll say, I'll forgive you. It's okay, baby. We can try again next time because we helped you. All right. We helped you in the situation. And that's why your girl love you. And National Side Chick Day is February 15th for a reason, because you got to be with your wife on Valentine's Day, but you with your side girl on February 15th. All right. So whenever, if a girl gets taken out on February 15th, now you know where you stand. All right. He wasn't busy. He didn't have to work. He wasn't tired. You the side chick. All right. But every dude loves a side chick because they complete the relationship. Where if his wife is 80%, you give him that extra 20 to make a solidified 100% in this relationship. All right. If his wife only gives 60, you give him that extra 40% to make sure that he's completely whole and stuff like that. And if his wife is giving 50, now you're giving that extra 50, but he won't leave you. He won't leave his girl for you. All right, side chicks out there, sorry to break it to you. All right, y'all be in this realm of thinking, well, if I just stick with him, he gonna leave his wife for me. He not. All right, he not gonna do it. Sorry to break it to you, it's not gonna happen. He gonna, no matter what he say, no matter what he says, all right, no matter what he says, he's not gonna do it. Okay, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Also, real quick, dating is hard. Dating is hard. Segue. But you know why dating is hard? Because these side chicks won't let the main dude who they talking to go, all right? They holding on hope. Meanwhile, I'm holding on hope that she'll realize this man ain't never gonna leave his wife, all right? Also, a new joke I'm working on, but something that's kind of true back in my old player days, right? You know how tiring it is to send 7 good morning texts? Oh, it is so damn tiring, and try to keep up with a whole conversation throughout the day. I was debating if I was going to tell this story, but fuck it, we going to do it. I still remember, I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago, I was talking to a female. And everybody makes this mistake, all right, where you send the wrong text to somebody else, right, that you didn't mean to. But a lot of times, usually, if a dude does that or a female does, so if a chick sends the wrong message to a dude or if male sends the wrong text message to a female, they literally think, oh, they talking to somebody else, so they must be cheating on me. Sometimes you just might just mix up the person you talk to. Like, I remember I said, hey cutie to this chick, and then I started asking her about stuff from work, right? She took it as he's talking to another female, and that's why he sent it. 'Cause she was like, hey cutie. I was like, yeah. And I was like, she's like, you talking about somebody else? I'm like, you are cute. Like, what's going on? But then I sent a follow-up message about, are we off tomorrow? Do you know if we going in? And she's like, oh, so who's this person you talking to? I was like, this chick at my job. She's like, oh, your chick at job, huh? Chick at your job. Oh, y'all must be talking. I was like, yeah, we talk, but like friends wise. It was so bad because me and this chick did like hang out. Everybody thought we was dating. This girl had a whole ass dude and a side dude. I'm like, I was the friend helping her trying to balance shit. Like who should I pick? I was like, well, you live with one. The other dude keep coming back because you know the side dude always looks attractive, always looks dope, but you only being around him like in small increments, right? That's why usually I was like, stick it out, right? And so she thought I was talking to another female, like somebody else, right? And the whole funny thing about it was I ran into her a few days later and she was hanging out with one of my homies. And at the time I didn't know. I'm like, oh, they just hanging out. And then come to find out they messing around. So you trying to guilt trip me in saying like I'm doing this. I'm like, whatever. It's neither here nor there. Sometimes you mess up and just send the wrong text message, and it'll like automatically meaning you cheating. And this was something that I used to hate that used to happen to me sometimes. Like the weirdest thing that ever happened to me, like while talking to like a female, I hate when people project onto me. I hate when people project. It's always something that I hate. Like this one female, I think it was like a few years ago, like a year ago or something like that. She was just like, Corde, I don't think you're seriously. I don't think you take me seriously. I think you only want sex, right? Which was hella weird. Not because I only just want sex, but she always brought up sex in the conversation. She always talked about sex. She only talked about sex. She said she wanted me to come over so we could have sex. But then she said, I don't think you take me seriously. Of course I don't. All you bringing up is sex. Why would I take you seriously? And she's like, I want more than that. I'm like, well, we've never discussed that. There's never been a situation. I'm like, how am I supposed to think you want more than that if all you talk about is sex? Some weird ass thing. I don't know. That was a random rant. This just frustrated me. I just had to let the homies know. So ladies, if you want more, ask for more. Don't only ask for one thing and say, why don't you ever give me this? Like, if you want Burger King, don't always talk about McDonald's, all right? Because we going to think you want McDonald's. Say what you want, all right? Say what you want. Hell yeah. Segue. Segue to Club Shay Shay. They had Monique on there, another 3-hour interview, talked about a lot of different topics, talked about Tyler Perry, Oprah, Lee Daniels, and how some of them ruined and helped her get blackballed from like acting and things like that, which sad to hear, sad to say, and just shows some of the, like, you know, when I was listening to this, I started realizing that no matter what, sometimes you meet people who you don't like, or sometimes people like you, like, not like that, but it's like, you know how comedians are beefing, right? And everybody thinks comedians get along. Not the case, because it's like how we're comedians. You don't always get along with everybody at your job. Same way with comedians. We beef with people. Sometimes people don't like. And if you're an actor, you don't like every actor. So that's what I started realizing after listening to this interview. She felt she was done wrong by people. She and DL have like a huge history, which they was going back and forth. I was watching that, and I'm just like, ooh. I was like, this is fire, because DL don't really go in on people until I think Monique had some comments about, because there was a friction about who was going to headline on the show and stuff like that. I think honestly, the booker was to blame at fault, like, because I think he told Monique that she was gonna headline, then DL ended up headlining. I think honestly the booker was, because it seemed like he told both of them, like, hey, do this show, y'all both gonna headline, and then he messed up, whatever. And then they start getting a little personal issue. But yeah, it's funny to watch people beef sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, it's like ooh. And it was super funny. It was super entertaining. Not always funny, because you don't always see like black legendary comedians argue and things like that. You want to see everybody thriving. Which leads to me. Leads to me. I remember I told Noah and Jared before we started this podcast today. I remember I was like thinking, like, I always think to myself, what happens when I get big? Because I always want to put positive energy out there. Like, what happens when I get big? Who will I take on the road with me? Like, this is something I always like think ahead about. Like, yo, like going to shows, seeing them sold out. Like, I wish one day I'll be here. I say I will be here. So I just start putting it out there. Like, I will be here one day. And the biggest thing that I always think about, it's not of what clubs I'm gonna do, or like what places I'm gonna go to, or like what countries I'm gonna travel to. It's always, who am I gonna bring on the road with me? And I told Jared and Noah before this podcast, I'm like, honestly, y'all, if I blow up tomorrow, I won't take y'all on the road with me. All right. I love that Jared and Noah are both laughing. This whole week, y'all, I've been stressing on how to properly say this without offending them. I told them this before we started this podcast, and it was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. Like, yeah, you haven't seen either one of us do a proper 10 minutes. And it's also, we do different kind of styles. So it would be weird if we was on tour. I was like, oh my God. When I tell you I've been stressing, I've been like working through this in my head, like, no, that's not what I mean. Like, what do you mean you wouldn't take? I was like, well, I appreciate it, but I haven't seen y'all. And then like, I'm not saying that I won't take y'all. I'm just saying right now, like if I blow up tomorrow, like I can't take, cause it's weak. Like, like this whole mind thing that I was going through, and I talked to them and they was like, yeah, that makes sense. Wasn't even phased. This whole week, I was stressed about how I'm gonna bring this up politely on the podcast, and it was like, "Nah, we get it." And that's why I love these guys, because it's like very understanding, Because sometimes you have homies who always want to go on a road with you, or always want to say, like, want to be with you on some of the stuff, like on the accomplishments, and me personally, right? I always want to bring homies on. I always want to put the homies on. I always want to help them grow as comedians. Like, I feel like that's what, if I become famous or when I become famous, I have to give back. You have to give back and help others, give them a bridge, like Tiffany Haddish did with They Ready and stuff like that. And Kevin Hart produced Lil Rel special. Dave Chappelle produced Earthquake special and Donna Rollins special. So you give back, I remember Kendrick Lamar dying of thirst. Like, I remember his mom called. He's like, hey, Kendrick, I see you out there. Yeah, I know your homie died. He's like, but you're gonna be great, Kendrick. I love you. And then we become big. Give back. Give back to the people, the black and brown kids, for them able to show that they can. You want to do that to the comedians. Give back to the black and brown comedians, or comedians who you just rock with, comedians who help you do this podcast, right? And yeah, because you don't want negativity on the road. But these dudes are the coolest shit. And I was so relieved that when I told them that, they was like, it makes sense. Because I'll be honest, not every comedian gets that, or not every comedian or a friend of yours gets that. Like, you be like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like, your style and my style line up. Or like, hey, like I told one of my homies this. I was like, hey, if I like might put on a show, I'm not gonna have you on it, just cause you got back into comedy recently. Like, I know you still kind of nervous. You not have a solid 10 minutes there. And then he started hitting more mics. He started getting better, started doing more shows. And then I started telling him, hey, man, you got a strong 10. And then I had to be straight up with him another time, too. I was like, hey, man, people are asking me, can you headline? So I need you to keep pushing it, keep writing more. Because I'm going to tell them no. Because I don't think you can headline, because I don't think you have 30. All right? But what you got, probably like a good 15? He's like, yeah. He's like, I keep writing. I think I might get up. I think he ended up doing like a solid 22. And then he's like, but if I had to do a 30, I had to stretch it. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm not going to recommend you till you could do a solid 25 and then maybe have to stretch another 10. But once you get up to that point, I'm going to start telling people you can headline. I was like, but I'm going to be honest with you right now. I was like, because I've been seeing the improvement you have. I've seen the work you've been putting in. And if people start hitting me up and they be like, can he headline? I'm like, yep. I can't wait the day he can headline and do 30 minutes, because a lot of times local shows actually do headline, you do 30 minutes or 35 minutes. For me, I usually try to ask them, can I do 35 or 40? And then I try to do more. Because basically I'm just trying to practice eventually get like a full hour. Like, I can do an hour, but I always get practicing like a lot of times do an hour. So that's what I see myself at. So I was telling my homie, and then I think he did his one show, he said he did 25, and he was like a solid 20. And last 5 he got off because it was like he started running out of jokes. And I was like, hey, but you did 25 though. I was like, how was it though? Honestly, how was it? He said, I did really good. That last 5, I kind of lost him. I was like, okay, so now you know where you need to keep working at. That last 5 need to be tighter or keep writing. And I was like, and when you get that solid 25, and then you might lose them in the last 5, or lose them in the middle. Don't lose them in that last 5. Lose them kind of in the middle and then bring them back. I was like, I'm gonna start recommending you for headlining spots, because I always want the homies to headline. I want the homies to be at clubs. Like, I want this to happen. Like, with all my homies and all my comedy homies, I want this to happen. I go to a club because I'm touring around the country, and it's my weekend. Hopefully it's sold out. Hopefully I bring the homies through, right? I want to see the next few weeks. Oh, that's my homie right there. How ticket sales? Oh, he sold out 4 shows. That's what I want it to be. I want to be like, I got 5 shows. I sold out 4 of them, working on another 5th one, and that's about to be sold out. So I got to add shows. Then I want to see the next week. One of my homies, his shit, he got the whole weekend. He sold out 4 shows. And then the next weekend, that's another one of my homies. He got 2 or 3 shows sold out. Now it's a competition between all of us who can sell out the most shows. But really what it is all my homies headlining national touring clubs can sell out. So that means they're making a ton of money on the road, and they could provide financially. And then also, we finally made it. I want all my homies to make it. Like, I'm not a jealous person or nothing like that. I want all my homies to make it. Everybody who I fuck with, like, tough. I root for them. Like, sometimes, like, a few homies got rejected by clubs. Like, I've gotten sad about it. Like, cause I feel like they're part of me. Like, I got connection with them like that. Like, so I'm like, damn, dude, you didn't pass off. Hey, man, we gonna get it next time. Like, we gonna do. He's like, nah, you probably get it. They only mess with me. I was like, no, we can't think like that. We got to think strong. We just got to write better. We got to figure out what they like. So then we can, I even like try to give homies like some jokes. Like, I started thinking about a joke the other day when I ran into my homie. Shout out to Rudy Ortiz, funny ass comedian. He was hosting for Frankie Quinones at Cobb's Comedy Club, and we were just talking about back and forth stuff. Like, he does KBLX. I'm gonna give a random shout out to Rudy Ortiz. He's on KBLX. I think it's every morning, and then he hosts and goes on the road with Frankie Quinones every single week. Funny ass dude. And I was telling him, I was like, hey man, tell people what radio station you are at. Cause I forget which radio station you are. I thought you was on 97 The Game. Cause I left him a long time ago. I was like, yeah, just update us. And so it was like a random conversation that we was having, catching up. I was like, hey man, I'm proud of you. You're also funny as fuck. Like, keep doing it. Like, I want to see him like keep hosting, but also headline his own tour, stuff like that. But then Frankie Quinones, real quick, shout out to Frankie Quinones. He's been on This Fool. I'm upset. This Fool just got canceled. Shout out to Chris Estrada as well. He came with the idea of This Fool. It just got canceled, but hopefully they bring it back. The hashtag is Save This Fool, because it's critically acclaimed. It's hella funny. One of the funny shows. It's on Hulu. It's only got 2 seasons. I hope it gets picked up. If we use the hashtag Save This Fool, we can keep it going. And I wanted to go to like another streaming network or tell Hulu they messed up and they got to repick this up back and like greenlight them for like at least another 3 seasons. Like, I want this to happen. These dudes are dope. These are funny. And then it's also funny because there's a ton of comedians who are writers in the room as well. Like, one of my homies is Johan Miranda. He's a writer behind it. Jesus Trejo. He's a writer on the series as well. Like, second season, I think they got like more opportunities and like more of like a budget, so they can start bringing in the other homies. And if that continues, you literally see more comedians having writing credits on these shows, and these shows will just continue getting better and better. Like, I think This Fool is like 98 or 99% or maybe 100% on Rotten Tomatoes as a show. So I'm like, how do you cancel this? But sometimes whatever networks don't see it prosperous, or maybe they don't reach a wide enough crowd. But I'm like, nah, everybody who's seen it, it's funny as hell. So shout out to Frankie Quinones. He was at Cobb's Comedy Club. I think he sold out all his shows too. Like, and the funny thing about Frankie, I remember I met Frankie in 2014, and it was right before I moved to Santa Barbara. Frankie used to always want me to come up and do his show at Cobb's. I used to tell him I can't do it. He's like, yo, I got a date on this one. I couldn't do it. My dumb ass, I'm thinking I have to stay down in Santa Barbara and can't do weekend shows, even though Mondays I usually didn't have a class till like 11 or 12. And I'm like, realistically, I could do it, but I thought I would have to catch the Greyhound up and catch the Greyhound back, not knowing that there was people who drove from the Santa Barbara to the Bay every fucking weekend. So my ass could have been doing a ton of shows at Cobb's with him, but it's just dope to see like the homie, because at one point he was on like 5 or 6 characters. Now he's just doing 2. He's doing himself, and he's doing Creeper, aka Cholo Fit. And the man is just amazing. Like, you know how hard it is to write for 5 different parts of yourself? Like, it's kind of a one-man show while working other comedians in to give you a break to change into different stuff. Like, that's because you're using like different parts of your brain to try to figure out how to keep all these people funny and different at the same time and still selling out. So shout out to Frankie Quinones. He's an amazing dude. Every time he comes to the Bay, usually San Francisco or San Jose, I try to pull up because he's a homie. Support your homies. Don't think that they got Hollywood on you. Nah, sometimes it's funny because sometimes your homies want to know you still supporting them. So I remember when This Fool came out, I was sharing the fuck out of it. I was tagging Chris Estrada. I tagged Hulu. I tagged Frankie Quinones. Shout out to Marcela Arguayo. I think I messed up her name, but she's going to be at Deaf Puppies and Modesto. I'm going to go see her. She's there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going to go Thursday because I'm not busy today, so I'm going to go see her. She has a dope podcast as well. It's called Comedy is Dead. I listen to it every week. I give her like funny tags. I'm like, hey, this part was funny, or just like hey, this part you said in here was hella funny too. And we need that support, because sometimes they be like, is people listening to this? I'm like, yes, I listen. I listen as well. And I remember one thing. I always like to give advice sometimes on this podcast, and I always say, you can't take all advice, because sometimes people will give you the wrong advice. Like, guys, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to be hella on social media. Like, I'm on it now, but I used to be on it way more. Like, I used to, like on Facebook, I used to way more shit. Like on Facebook, I used to post music videos. I used to post, I used to call it Thought of the Day. Then I used to call it Situation of the Day, or like random quotes, right? And then I would post stand-up stuff too. Like, I'll post jokes or just talk about stuff. But I was like deep with it, right? And a lot of people used to always tell me, hey, you need to write a book. The reason why I was doing all this kind of stuff, because I was like, this is social media. I need to be active on this. I need to be doing all this other kind of stuff. I got some bad advice from a homie that I respected. He was like, stop doing all that shit. Just do comedy. You a comic. But I always felt I was more than just a comedian, because I'm like, I'm going to college. I used to play football. I'm a comedian too, but I'm not as big a comedian right now. And I just like wanted to show like extra stuff, do a lot of extra stuff, do like have all these different things. Like, if I can act, if I can write poetry, there's like all different sources of income. He's like, nah, just focus on comedy. Just do comedy. That's what you need to be focused on. Comedy, that's where it's at. That's all. You post your schedule, post jokes. That's it. That's it. And I listened to him. But before that, I had another homie say, hey, Corde, I respect what you're doing, but I don't think you should be posting all this stuff on Facebook. That's not the venue where you should be doing it. You should take that to Twitter. I'm gonna say TikTok. TikTok wasn't even around there. You should take that to Twitter, because all the stuff you be posting about is stuff that I always see on Twitter. And I feel like you would get a lot more traction if you posted everything on there. And where you just constantly posting stuff, you probably get picked up. And I was like, nah, I like Facebook. So I listened to one homie who told me to stop doing all this extra stuff. I didn't listen to the other homie who said I need to do it on Twitter. And literally, if I would listen to him, I probably would have had like a huge Twitter following. And then if I didn't listen to my other homie, my page would have been huge at this point, or like whatever thing would have been huge. Because what do you see now on Facebook and Instagram? You see in Twitter, videos, inspirational quotes, people giving advice. Like, I was doing all that shit like way before. Like, I was talking to Rudy Ortiz about this. He was like, bro, you was ahead of your time. I was like, I was ahead of my time. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but it felt right. Because family members will say, hey, I go to your page every day to read some inspirational quote. Like, I had this one chick who I tried to date one time. She was like, what's the quote of the day? Like, I need it. Like, I need it. Or like people who I randomly run into, they was like, hey, I love your page. Cause you just give like a bunch of different perspectives on stuff, right? But then I had homies who were like, yo, cause my name on Facebook used to be Corde, fill up your news feed, Snell. Cause that's how I would do. Cause I would post so much, I would just be feeding up their news feed with stuff, right? But the only reason I kept doing it, because I used to get likes, I used to get comments on stuff, and it'd be like the same like 15 to 20 people. And I was like, as long as they liking it, I know I'm doing something right. And then I get like a few negative comments here and there. It's like, bruh, I'm about to unfriend you, bruh. I love you, but you be posting too much. I was like, unfriend me. If you want to unfriend me, go ahead. Like, go ahead and do it. Like, if you got to unfriend me, go ahead. Because I was doing something that was ahead of my time, not even noticing. And somebody discouraged me, and I got off it. And I was so bad, because I was like, I knew I was doing something right. Like, I knew I was on to something, because it felt right, and the feedback was so strong that eventually one day I was thinking, like, I could write a book. Like, I still think I can always like write a book on something, or like pitch like a TV show of some of mine, right? Like, because I'll be thinking like other stuff. And I remember, I think I was listening to a podcast back in the day, and it was like 2011, 2012, before podcasts was like really a thing. And it was like, be multifaceted. Because they always said stand-up doesn't pay. Well, and they pay for like Chris Rock and like Kevin Hart before they start giving like big checks. But like, let's say if you're not them, he was like, you need to have other stuff in stand-up. That's why comedians always would do stand-up. And then if they make it big, they get commercials. They get like a TV show or like a movie role. And then that helps pave the way for them to be like a celebrity or a star because of the stand-up. Like, that's why comedians leave stand-up and their stand-up starts getting whack. Because they put in all the other efforts into a TV show, they can pay. You start getting paid per episode. Let's say you get $50,000 per episode, or like $100,000 per episode, and you got 25 episodes. You know how much money that's? Like 2.5 or something like that, or just way up there. And that's like ridiculous. Versus you only making I don't know if this is like 500,000 on a tour. And then stuff like where your TV show getting into syndication, or you might get like TV, like you might get movie roles. Like I remember the Rock first movie role, he got paid $4 million for was it The Scorpion King and The Mummy 2. That was his biggest payout ever, and that was like 2001. $4 million in 2001. So probably today that's probably 12 to 15 million. That's huge for your first movie. All he did was like a little bit in the front, and then they used CGI for the rest of them. Yo, and now The Rock he's not even The Rock no more. He's Dwayne Johnson, formerly known as The Rock, and so that shit is huge. Where we at time wise?
We're at 44 minutes, and the one thing you haven't talked about that you mentioned before the podcast was talking about Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Thank you, Jared, for that one. Hell yeah. So for those who don't know, Sean Evans from Hot Ones is a guy who has a YouTube channel where he goes on there, he brings people, and they're usually like hot stuff, like hot wings, hot jalapeno, stuff like that. And he tries to have a full conversation with them as they're crying and sweating from the food that they just ate, right? So Sean Evans recently was discovered to be dating a porn star. Her name is Melissa Stratton. Noah, do you know Melissa Stratton at all?
I very much do know who this is. Yeah.
Do you like her work?
I love her work. She's so talented.
Hey, okay, all right. Well, if Noah approves, I got to go do my research, quality research, Got to look this stuff up. After people found that out, I think they've been dating since December or something like that. A few days ago, they broke up. They broke up because he didn't want to get it out. He didn't want that information getting out. And I'm just like, bro, you ain't... Like, you don't have a negative reputation. But to me... And everybody else who found that out was like, oh, I didn't think this dude could get her. Like, no matter what dudes say, porn stars are fine as fuck. Like, we all love porn stars. We all got our favorites. We all like to look at them. We all like, man, and I'm like, he didn't want that negative reputation. I'm just like, man, I don't care. Like, man, if I had a porn star girlfriend, like, hey, man, it's lit. It is lit. Cause we having a good time. We having a good old time. Right. I remember Jimmy G went on a date with a chick named Kiera Mia. I didn't even know who she was. I just saw like this stacked Latina chick. I was like, oh, this chick is gorgeous. I found out later she was a porn star. And also the rumor I heard, it was like that man looks like the Energizer Bunny. He just kept going. He made her tap out. Jimmy G made her tap out, right? Like that's what I heard, yo. Like I heard she like been with a few ball players and they can't either get it up or they tap out early. And she said she had to take several timeouts. And I was like, hey, that's no wonder why. Maybe my homies call him Jimmy Pornhub G. Like, because that man be going. But me and my homies always talk about it. Like, could you date a porn star? I'm like, hell yeah, I could. Like, hell, why not? Like, it's like, yeah, but what about all the stuff you like, she's smashing other dudes. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know how many times I've been watching her smash other dudes? You know how many times I fantasized? It could have been me smashing her. Now I got that opportunity to be smashing her all the time. Instead of fantasizing, I'm doing it in real life. We making our own videos, She got an OnlyFans subscription. It's me and her. Like, I'm bringing her value down because I'm big. I got to get back in shape. I'm like, dang, I don't look good in this angle. Like, I don't like, babe, what's your routine? Surgery. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. But so this I'm gonna need a little help on this one. Jared and Noah, if you feel free to comment, do you have any favorite porn stars that you would love to have a relationship with?
Have a relationship with?
Yeah. Okay, could you do a relationship with a porn star?
I don't think I could.
Okay.
I could.
Yes, Noah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Say why, Noah.
I think people take I think people see them the wrong way. I think they're actually very sweet. Mm-hmm. They might love sex, which is cool, but I think there's more to it. I think if you listen to like interviews with them, they're like some of them are really smart. Yeah. And they just went a different path. Yeah. They dominated a different game. Yeah. Yeah. One
of my favorites is Sarah J. Sarah J has she does hella, same thing with her. She has like a podcast. She has her own business. She shoots her own stuff. She goes overseas and shoots her own stuff. Body is amazing. but then also very business, like very business oriented. So yeah, super sweet too. Jared, was you about to say something? Okay. But yeah, her. And I'm like, yeah, very respectable. Lisa Ann is like like Jared just gave it a hell yeah. That was the hell yeah look, which is funny.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Especially after her career is over.
Yeah.
Like what all that she's done. She does a lot about sports.
Yeah.
She's yeah, no, she's a very industrious woman. I feel like you punked me, Noah, because I was like, I'm not saying they're bad people. I just don't think I could date somebody who's having that much sex with other people. So I will retort right now. I was like, what the hell, dude? That's not what I said. The question was, could I date them? My answer was no. Noah goes, well, I think they're not bad people.
Yes!
Hold the fuck up.
Yes. We're getting friction on the podcast. Hell yeah. That's what I want.
He's going to turn the booth on itself.
Turn the booth on, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, man, because it's funny because it's like, I don't want to say this is you, Jared, but I feel like sometimes seeing the girl you're dating fuck other dudes, there's a lot of insecurity in that. That's why I took it as a standpoint of why I said, I've been fantasizing about fucking her all the time when I watch her. Now I get the actual opportunity to. So that's how my mind works. Like, yeah, but like she don't love these dudes. This is just a job, you know? Like, what about like Adam 22 and his girl, right? Everybody think he's a cuckold. Everybody think like it's crazy that you let her do that. I'm like, yo, she's exploring what she wants to. Also, what people don't talk about with Adam 22, you know how many porn stars he get to fuck because his girl was in that industry? Like I've seen certain like chicks like from the porn industry that he be smashing. I didn't even know that his girl did porn. I knew about that he be fucking other chicks too. Like some of the chicks who was bringing on his podcast, he would fuck them later.
That was the structure of the No Jumper podcast.
Yeah.
Is they'd interview a porn star and then together they would have sex with them and put it on their website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I'm like, oh, this dude a cuckold. I could never do it. I'm just like, y'all not seeing what comes with this benefit. Like I remember, because I think she wanted to start. Well, Noah's laughing, but because she wanted to start doing porn officially, but they was doing it already together, and he was talking about how much money she makes off her OnlyFans. Like she's making like $300K a week or some shit like that. She was bringing in like mad money and stuff like that. And he was saying, then I get to come in and we get to do stuff together. And then I think once you in that standpoint of that kind of life where you're constantly, that's what's going on. And then your girl officially wants to get into porn. Like I remember they was like, yo, he let his girl get like have sex with this dude with a huge dick. Like I would never let my girl. I'm like, yo, with like she's been doing that. Like she's going into this realm. He's okay with it. They've made a surplus of money together from doing like porn stuff like on OnlyFans. I think at this point, his mindset is, this is what we do now. We make porn. Like that's what we do. We get paid off this, right? People like, no, I couldn't let that do it. I'm like, no, because you're not. It's a buildup. This he didn't like. She didn't just come at him like, hey, babe, I want to have sex with that porn star. Can I do it? Like, no, this was a buildup of things leading to it. And at the same time, he's smashing hella different porn stars as well. So it's like, if I gotta you having sex with this one dude who's a porn star, not a dude who you just smashing, not like a random dude at the bar, like going, I want to smash him. Like this is a porn star, so it's like a business. It's a business deal. Also, by having this and creating this controversy, you know how much money they made off that sex tape, or not sex tape, but like that thing, because everybody was tuning in like, I can't believe that he just gonna let his girl get smashed by her. Created controversy, created clicks, his YouTube views went up, that video went up, like that. I remember they had to premiere it, they had to drop it early, I heard, like whatever porn website, they said we had to drop it early because the demand was so huge, and they made, I think, upwards of like 10 to 15 million off that thing because the intrigue was so high. Like, I'm like, y'all don't get the game plan, y'all don't get the game plan. But yeah, I could say I could date a porn star. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, Mike Epps and Shannon Sharp kind of got into it, mainly because Shannon Sharp, they talked about it, cleared it up, they shook hands, they good now. But it was funny because somebody recorded at Mike Epps' show that he wanted Shannon Sharp wanted Mike Epps to come on the show. He was like, "Nah, Medea, you ain't gonna get me on there." Spoiling myself out, called him Medea, which in the black community, like wearing a dress is like a big thing. It's like it's like taking away your masculinity. It's very like a trope where it's like, of course they make you play a woman. That's the only way you can make it big. Like that's like a belief. It's like only reason why you big because you wore a dress. That's the reason why, and stuff like that. So it became this big thing when Dave Chappelle didn't want to wear a dress. But actually, Dave Chappelle had worn many dresses before that. And sometimes it's just like you want to play a character, but then with that, if you play it like too long, like with Tyler Perry, people's thinking that he's gay and stuff like that. Just because, like, well, I don't see him with no woman. I don't see like, what do you think? You think he that good at acting? I'm like, but it's like you're playing a character of somebody who you've seen grow up. Like if I played my mom, I could do like a voice, stuff like that. Like he was playing Medea, which in a like black family, like in the South, everybody has like a grandma where her name was Medea. Or like a very old school like name. So it's like it's me playing my grandma, just being like ridiculous with it. And so Shannon Sharp didn't take kindly to that because people immediately start thinking that he was gay. And that's like another thing that you don't want a celebrity, like, especially if you're really not. Like in the black community, that's even if it's accepted, it's still frowned upon, especially. And then also as a straight male in the black community too, you don't want all this stuff. Because Shannon Sharp wears like, he's very well built. He wears like a lot of tight clothing. And everyone's like, see, I knew it. And then people start believing, like, see, I knew it. It's the reason why he's single. It's the reason why he in his 50s, he's single. It's the reason why this. Like for example, before that, on the Monique episode, they said Shannon Sharp don't like black women. And he got 3 or 4 black kids with black women. Like, so he was like, what the hell? So, but sometimes if a lie is told and you don't defend and you don't say it's not true, people start believing the lie. And that becomes something like in people's like mindset, like, no, that is real. That is true. And then, but him and Mike Epps squashed it. Hopefully he get him on the podcast. And the funny thing about it too, Mike wanted a little controversy because he got a Netflix special coming out. So a little bit of controversy helps it. And then Shannon Sharp talked about how he couldn't joke with that because his kids start asking, like, Dad, they start getting back to his kids. Like, even though his kids is grown, it's like, Dad, I know this ain't true, yada, yada, yada. So he's like, so when they start messing and infecting his kids, he's like, I got to squash this. I can't let this go too much. He apologized. He's like, I got too sensitive. I didn't know what realm I was going in. Because sometimes comedians joke like that. And then also was at a show where the clip got posted and the clip went viral. Summer Gary on, he was like, stop posting our clips on shows. Like, start recording stuff and posting it up. Like, be in the moment. Stop. Because then if we just joking, like, nobody knew about he said that kind of a thing. And then Shannon Sharp realized, he's like, I was thin-skinned at the time. But yeah, sometimes you got to, because he was like, no, I got to talk to Mike. I got to see him about this. And it was just like, hey, man, nah, that we joke like that sometimes. Man, we don't believe it's true. And sometimes beef sells. Like, that's why Mike wanted to keep the beef going. He's like, no, I can't be doing that, bro. You know, I can't be, they be saying you stuff about your boy. Then I'm trying to date a woman. They're looking at me sideways. Like, am I getting kind of a, yeah. But yeah. How much more time we got? I might end on this.
Yeah, you're at an hour. You can wrap on this.
Okay, cool.
I don't think porn stars are bad people. I just want to say that again.
Hey, we can end right there, all right? I had another story, but no, we can end right there. Oh, no, real quick. I got to do this real quick. Shout out to the people who got in Netflix as a joke festival. There's, I remember Martine Stewart, Natasha Collier, Natasha, I forgot how to say her name, with a V, Jaleesa Robinson, my homie Jesus Trejo, and a few others. I can't think of their name, but like if y'all got in, I'm proud of y'all. Shout out to all y'all. That's a huge accomplishment. Netflix a Joke Festival, that's huge. It's a real big opportunity, so you can really become like the next big person, right? Like I knew Taylor Thomason back in the day. I met her in 2014. I remember when she only had 10 minutes of comedy. Now that woman is touring the world, has a show on a late night show. I think it's right after. Is it right after Stephen Colbert? I think so.
I maybe. I thought she was replacing somebody.
She was replacing the Late Late Show. She was replacing the Late Late Show.
So is that Craig Ferguson?
No, it's not Craig Ferguson. It's a British guy.
James Corden.
James Corden. It was placed in James Corden with her show. It's super dope. Also, Marcelo Aguayo has been on that too. No, we didn't hear that shit. Just pick up your phone. But yeah, so shout out to Taylor Thompson. She has, I think, 2 Netflix specials. Both are dope. I remember initially she had got a 15-minute special because that's when like Netflix was just trying to give people 15-minute specials. She had that, and now she's super huge. So it could start with a small thing on Netflix, and it can come to something more huge, and then actually you can start touring the country. So I'm happy to all y'all, proud of all y'all. Kill it when you do it. Rock that shit. Oh, Chris Riggins, that was the name I forgot. Shout out to Chris Riggins, who, to me, honestly, I try to follow his blueprint. He did the San Jose Improv mic. I did that too. He went to Hollywood Improv, rocked it there, set the Comedy Store. He's a door guy, and now he's on Netflix's Joke Festival. He gave me some great advice regarding that. So I appreciate you, Chris. Keep killing it out there. Keep being dope as hell. Funny as hell too, because people make fun and say he's gay when he's not, because he be smashing like women out there. But they said he was gay because of his colorful hair, and he paints his nails. And he was like, my daughters like to paint my nails with me. So they paint my nails as a father and daughter time. And I'm just like, another gay comment in the black. So it was like, he's like, I'm smashing. Like, what you mean? I'm out here smashing and my daughters paint my nails. He was like, so if you can't get over the fact that I got painted nails, that's on you, dude. He's like, why are you wondering about me anyway? And with that, Jared, what did you say about porn stars? Porn stars are nice people?
They are probably nice people. I don't know any, but
Okay.
you know, just because I don't want to date one doesn't mean they're a bad person.
I think that's the name of this episode. Porn stars are nice people. And I'm gonna close this out right now. We at the hour, a little bit over the hour. Like I say every week, did you get your hour of Corde this week? Did you get an hour of Corde? Because Corde made your day. Corde is going to make your night better. He's going to make your morning better. He's going to make your overall mood better. So make sure you listen to the Corde Snell show and get your hour of Corde so you can feel better, you can feel good, and you have a great week. All right? I've been Corde Snell, and we out.